Hey guys, this is Stefan. It's time to unleash the Fire panel. We've talked a lot about this panel, and now it's time to publish this one. So I will show you how to install it and how to use it. This is just a quick demonstration, and I will start with the installation. So this is actually the Photoshop file. So this is created with the Fire panel, and I've already downloaded it from the free add-on page. This is a free add-on for you, and I will show you how to install it. So when you if you downloaded the file, the zip file, don't unzip it. That's very important. You need the zip file, otherwise it won't work. Then you click in the configurator on import from file, and you go to the, I've got it in the downloads here, and I can't see it because it has here in that area is JSON selected. So you need to go to zip, and then you can see the zip file. Select the zip file, click open, and now I get this warning, and I click on install. So that takes a little bit because that is a bit of data to unzip, and then you click on finish install, and you need to say yes to the administrator rights here, and click on yes, and then it will install the panel. So now go back to the configurator, click on close, and here we are. This is the Fire panel. It's installed in the configurator. I click on save layout once and go back to Photoshop. Let's go back to the original file here, and I can find the Fire panel here on window extensions, and it's the Retouching Toolkit #1. It's the #1 here for me because I have it as #1 here in the configurator. So that's the number of the panel. It might be different for you. If you have various panels here, then it might be the #5 or #4 or something like that. So one thing to mention is that the Fire panel actually has a right click on each button, not on each button, but on most buttons. So if you click it, you will come to this page here, and you will see a nice introduction to all the functions. So the thing most people wanted to see, I guess, is this one. Is the set shape on fire function. That's a really, really neat one, and I'm really proud of this. So as you can see, I have just a single layer file here, and with this bird, and what I do is I use the subject selection subject function of Photoshop, and it selects that bird here, and this works pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect, so as you can see, these wings here are more rubbish, but I don't care. So now with that selection on the background layer, I press Command or Control J in order to create a new layer with the content of that selection. So if I switch off the background layer, I have only the bird and a little bit of the background, but it doesn't matter actually. With that layer selected, I pick the brush tool, and I set the size to something, actually something like that, a little bit bigger than the bird here, or the small parts of the bird. It depends on your subject. For me, this works really well. You probably need to find a different shape. For some stuff it works better with a really small brush, for some stuff it works with a bigger brush. So for me it's around 1000 pixels. Speaking about 1000 pixels, you can just click on 1000 pixels here and the brush will become 1000 pixels. And yeah, with that layer selected, you just click on set shape layer on Fire. What I had here was the shape layer. That was the bird. It has the shape of the bird, and then it creates everything automatically. It creates a lot of layers. It creates this outline around that shape. It creates the smoke behind the bird, and it creates a little bit of particles here, and that dark, super dark gray background, and then it will create this fire particles, also these particles that fly away from that bird here. You can see it in the background. Then it creates the flames outside of the bird and does all the colorization, and now it renames all the layers and creates a little bit of a shine into the bird, and that's it. It's done. It might take longer on your computer or not, depending on how fast your computer is, how big the file is, how big the brush is, how complex the shape is. If you see something that's in front of the bird and you think it's distracting, then it's automatically selected the above subject folder here or group here with that white layer mask, and it automatically selects the black brush. So what you can do is you can just smaller the brush, get rid of stuff that you don't like, or if you accidentally deleted stuff, then you can just bring it back. So yeah, that's the cool stuff. But you have a lot of brushes, sparkler brushes, fire brushes, infernal brushes, these fireballs here in the background. That's the infernal stuff. That's the things that we shot for this layout or for this add-on here. And obviously you can always go in and I'm here at the black layer, create a new screen layer, for example. So it creates a black layer, and now if I paint with a white brush and select one of these, I can actually paint more fire in if I want. So that's the same stuff. Can even, yeah, can make it really, really nice. And the more you paint, these brushes are very randomized. So if you paint like this, it will create different kinds of effects. And so you can really work with this. So I hope you have some fun with this add-on, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are doing with it. That was quite some work. It took us weeks longer than we thought. And yeah, there's a lot to discover actually. So everything's on layers, so everything's intact and everything can be adjusted as you want. Everything is named in a proper way. And you can even change the color of the gradients. So for example, if you want to the gradient map for stamp, this is the color of the bird. So if you want to reveal the original color of the bird, just bring down the opacity here so you get more of the original color. Also, we have a gradient map for the fire behind that bird. So if I double click on this and click into the gradient, I can, if I want to have more red here, can even bring some red in and make this, well, this was probably a little bit too bright. So I can make some reddish fire, whatever you want. So you can really adjust all that stuff in a way that's really non-destructive. Also, if you don't like the black background, if you rather have the original background, you can always go back and bring on the original background by just shutting off the dark background, or you can lower the opacity here to bring some of the background back. You can always pick the smoke brushes here and paint more smoke in. Obviously I need to paint in black. That smoke really brings the contrast back to the fire, so that's really important. So I just draw on that layers, or I create a new multiply layer. It's automatically in the right layer blend mode. It's automatically filled with white and can instantly start painting here. So yeah, I hope you have some fun discovering all the stuff that's in that add-on. You can also create fire with the path tools. You can create glow and smoke, and we even have this funny sparkler tool. You can just pick this one and bring the background back. So I can show you. The sparkler is actually pretty fun. Create a new layer in blend mode screen. So it's a black one. I'm painting with white. And if I have a path here selected, I can stroke that path with a sparkler. It's probably go back to 400 pixel, maybe 800. It doesn't matter actually. So, and then you can just stroke that path with the sparkler. This is pretty fun. Obviously, this was automatic function, so it creates that folder, but you can always drag it in, and so you have it inside of the colorization of the gradient map here. And you can also stroke that path with fire if you want. So that didn't work. So the path is still there, and then we create the path with fire. Script failed, so that is typical. Probably we will have an update for this at some point. Let's just create a new one, a new layer here, and create a path. So stroke path with fire, and it does exactly that. And obviously you can also colorize it by clicking on that folder and click on create fire gradient. So you have this this nice color here, and you can also have both. So need a new path. It actually definitely needs that path, and then I can have the sparkler here, and it's in the same folder. So it's pretty nice, and we have a bunch of nice features here. So yeah, have fun playing with this. This was Stefan. Take care.